Good morning, all here. Welcome you for our final session of probability. Today we'll be dealing up with the practical based question and some of the question of exercise 15.2. So if you have the textbook, you can keep the question open, or you can have it in the form of like you can just read it in between and keep it open. As I have sent you the PDF also, so I hope that you have it in PDF format in your mobile or in laptop. So you can, if you have the real copy with you, it's great. Okay, so you know that we have discussed the two dice questions, right, where the total outcomes are 36, right? And based on the numbers and based on the terminology, we find the probability of the event. Then I also discussed the card question, playing card questions, right? So on that also, based on the terminology, you have to read the question comfortably and you have to deal with it. So now the final application of their questions. So first question, I'll be starting your exercise 15.1, question number 15. So let's read out what does it say. I'm reading out the question, so if you don't have right now, pay attention to the terms. What does it say for 5 cards? Okay, these 5 cards, which are those 5 cards? Let's just write it down also. The 10, the Jack, Queen, King, and Ace. Okay, these are of diamonds are well shuffled with their face downwards. So what are we doing here? These 5 cards we are taking. These are all diamond cards. Okay, these are all diamond cards, and they have taken only 5 cards out of those 52 cards. Okay, and then we are selecting randomly a card. So what will become the total outcomes here? Without even looking further the question, you can understand what are the total outcomes here. So total outcomes, how many cards you have taken? Only 1, 2, 3, 4. So total outcomes are nothing but all these groups. Okay, 10, Jack, Queen, King, and Ace, isn't it? So number of total outcomes will be, how many in all outcomes you have here? Number of total outcomes are only 5 here. We don't have 52 cards. We have just selected 5 out of it. So we have only 5 cards with us. What is the probability? Now the question is, what is it? The first question says, okay, so the method is, you need to write down the formula. So let's list out the formula before we start with this sum. You know the probability of any event is equal to number of favorable outcomes to total number of outcomes, right? You are all aware, so please write down, you will already write down the formula once you write the data, total number of outcomes, right? And now let's begin with the first part. What does it say? What is the probability that the card is Queen? Okay, so probability of Queen. So out of how many cards? 5 cards. How many queens are there? Only 1. So naturally it would be 1 on 5. You could list out the favorable outcome as only 1. That is Queen card. Okay, which is only 1 card, isn't it? Number of favorable outcomes is only 1 here. So 1 on 5. Now what does it say about the second part? I'm reading it out. What does it say? If the Queen is drawn, means we have already removed the card and the card is of Queen. Put aside, what is the probability that the second card picked up is the possibility. Now you had 5 cards, and out of these 5 cards you have removed Queen. So now how many total outcomes are there? So now in second case, total outcomes are changed. So here we have 10 cards, we have Jack, we have King, and we have 10. So now we are left with only 4 cards, isn't it? So number of total outcomes will be, please pay attention over here. This is the different here comparatively. You know how to do the sum, but they give you the sub part and they said that we got the King, we got the Queen, Diamond Queen, and they removed it. So now the number of outcomes becomes 4. Be very clear about it. And then what are they saying? Now here the second card is picked up. So what is the probability that it would be S? Oh, and the second in the sub question, we have 2 sub question. You to find out the probability of S. So probability of S. Okay, and so what is the probability of S here? Okay, so out of 4, how many S cards are there? Only 1. So what is the probability of S? It would be 1 on 4, right? And what is the probability of Queen? Do you have Queen in your cards now? Now you're left with the scorecard, 10, Jack, King, and S. So do you have Queen card? We don't have any Queen card here, and so it is 0 on 4. So ultimately it is 0. I hope this is clear to all of you. We were given with 5 cards, so we don't have considered all 52 cards here. Since we are given with 5, so our total outcomes are 5 here. And then they ask you to find out the probability of queen. So there is only one queen in 5 cards, so it becomes 1 on 5. Then the second condition says that we removed with queen cards, so now we are left with only 4 cards with us. So total outcomes become 4. And then we have to find out the probability of S. So only one S card here. So it becomes 1 on 4. And then we have to find out the probability of queen. Since there is no queen, we get 0 on 4. So ultimately probability is 0. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. So now we move on to the next question. Okay. The next is, which was the next I told you. Okay. So question number. Let's move ahead with that. Next question is question number 17. Okay. What does it say? Question 17 of your exercise 15.1. Okay, what does it say? A lot of 20 bulbs contain 4 defective bulbs. Okay, so there are, like what is even we discussed the application of it in the business, in the real life. This chapter is, knowingly, unknowingly, you're using it. For example, you go to the shopkeeper or you go to simply to buy some, vegetables. Okay, and by chance you picked up, suppose you're buying some vegetable and you pick up first and it is like defective or spoiled one. Okay, you maybe you second pick up and you find out okay spoiled, and then what generally you do? You remove it. That I don't want to buy this. This is not good quality. Maybe out of those 100 pieces you picked up 2, but both came not in good condition. So what do you say? No, the veggie is not fresh enough. I don't want to buy this veggie, isn't it? So the same way the practical happens, in the big companies, industries, right? When they buy something, some items, right? So when that is always naturally in a huge quantity, in a big quantity. So what do? They are not going to check each and everything. So they go with this random checking, from the pack, from the huge pack. They pick few items and they work on the probability that okay, random selection, it comes out better, the lot is better, and otherwise it's a defective one and it has been rejected. So this is a practical one, and so we are going to check this. A lot of 20 bulbs. We took the lot of 20 bulbs. So we have 20 bulbs with us. So what happens? That becomes the total outcomes. And out of these 4 are defective. We are aware that 4 are defective bulbs. Okay, and we are selecting one bulb at random. Okay, I'll read out the question first and then we go part by part. A lot of 20 bulbs contains 4 defective ones. One bulb is drawn at random from the lot. We are selecting a bulb. What is the probability that this bulb is defective? We have to find out the probability of defective bulb. Okay. Secondly, now the second sub part. Suppose the bulb drawn in the first is not defective. So you picked up the good one. Okay. And it is not replaced. Means the good bulb which you removed is removed. It is kept aside. It is not in the lot. So now you again some changes. And then again you're picking up a one. So we have to find out that again it is a non-defective bulb. Okay, big question. So if it is okay, we go part by part. So first we go with the easier way you list out the probability formula first. Probability of event. And you just read the part because those will require some space. So P of E, you know that number of favorable outcomes to total number of outcomes, right? I'm using it shorter. Don't avoid this. I just take it so that we communicate with each other more. And then we go with the first part. So here the total outcomes are 20. And this out of 20, 4 are defective. So that means 16 are in good condition, non-defective. I hope you get this. What I've written is, just I'm explaining here. 20 are good bulbs. Okay, oh sorry, total bulbs. And out of this, 4 are defective bulbs. So good bulbs are how many? Remaining will be good. So 20 minus 4, 16 are, I will say, non-defective, or the bulbs are in good condition. Here the language is used defective and non-defective. So we write it down like this. Okay, so first one we have to find out what is the probability that the bulb is defective. Okay, so favorable outcomes will be for defective bulbs, isn't it? So probability of defective bulb will be out of 24. So you get it as 1 on 5, isn't it? 4 upon 20, so it gets reduced to 1 on 5. Okay, now first part is quite simple, right? I hope that is clear to you. Now, please pay attention to the second. Again, I'm reading out for you so that you understand. Suppose the bulb drawn in first is not defective. Now, what are they saying? That we did this probability of defective bulb. We did it. But the second part says, suppose the bulb was non-defective. Okay. So, and it is not replaced. Not replaced means आपने वापस वहां पे नहीं रखा है. ओके, तो अब आपके बल्ब्स कितने हो गए? टोटल आउटकम्स आपने एक बल्ब निकाल दिया है. सो नाउ द टोटल बल्ब्स आर 19. वन इज रिड्यूस्ड. ओके, और अब आपके टोटल कितने हो रहे हैं? 19 बल्ब हो रहे हैं. उसमें से जो निकाला है वो कौन सा है? The good one is removed, the non-defective one removed. So this becomes 15. These fours are as it is. Fine. I hope this was clear to all of you. The further second case, the total outcomes are 19, and what we removed was non-defective. It is not related to question part 1. Please, आप एक इसकी disconnectivity देखिए. Here it was asked to you that find the probability of defective bulb, but second part में अलग ही कह रहे हैं. It is not related to first. उसे इतना कह रहे हैं कि the first bulb you removed, suppose it was non-defective. तो ठीक है, ये कम हो गया और उसको replace नहीं किया. Okay, so this is यहाँ पे एक कम हो रहा है, and this 4 remains as it is. Then we have to find out what is the probability that it is a non-defective bulb. So probability of non-defective bulb. How many bulbs are available to you? 15. So the probability will be 15 out of 19. And you know that no cancellations are possible. So this will be your answer. I hope it is clear to you. Yes, everyone? Okay. If you know doubts, I move on to the next question. As you know, you can see 18th we have discussed already multiples of 2 and 5. Okay. And there was a 20 question which is a bit different from others. It says that suppose you throw a die, okay, and that die, it has some fixed circle in it. So some questions of this time comes here. The probability is area of circle upon area of rectangle. Please go through it and just go through these questions. And if you have any doubts further, you let me know. 20 because that doesn't come, related to board exam. So still you tried. I don't say you leave it. But what happens here, like it is probability of probability to find out that where the die will, what is the probability that it will land, since you are throwing a die. Okay, it is a rectangular table and on that there is some circular there. So you have to find out that your die will fall on that circular part only. So here the formula is bit away, no probability question, where it will land. So it is probability of circle, like area of circle divided by area of rectangle. Bit of different. Go through it, please. Let's take. Yeah, I think 21 is same. Then okay, question number 23, everyone. What does it say? Okay, I'll read it out first. Question number 23. Game consists of tossing 1 rupee coin 3 times. A coin has been taken and it has been tossed 3 times. Right? So you know what happens when you toss a coin. It is either head or tail. You have only 2 possibilities. And noting its outcome each time. And we'll note down its outcome. Now what I'd say, honey wins if all the tosses gives the same result. Okay? The winning, what is it? What is the winning says? All the tosses gave same result. That is three heads or three tails. It could be three heads or three tails. The person is won and loses otherwise. Calculate the probability Hanif will lose the game. So you remember probability of tossing of coin three times. So how many outcomes are there? You remember how to find out those total outcomes? See, this is my first coin. I have two possibilities, head or tail. Okay. Suppose this is fixed with head. Suppose head आया first में. हमने second coin toss किया तो मेरे पास again दो possibility है head or tail. And suppose I get tail in the first, again here also two possibilities head or tail. So I got four possibilities in all. And now we move on to the third coin. So again it will have the possibility of head or tail. Please don't go with oral, remembering this. It will be chances that you miss one and you won't be able to realize it. So better go with this tree method. It will help you to find it out. And then how will you do it now? See, one, like all heads, HHT, then you move on this, and this is the way you go on writing it. So here the total outcomes are, let's go with it, question number 23. So here our total outcomes are, let's list it out, all three H. I go with proper way of writing it, then HHT, okay, then HTH. You remember this tree pattern and then you would be able to easily write it down. It's very easy for you. Otherwise, go with your memory test. Don't do that. Don't try your memory test here. Okay, because during the exams you may be nervous, you will be in hurry to write it down, so that will lose your confidence. So better you just draw that. It doesn't take much time. So we wrote this 4, I think, HTT. Let's move on to this THH, THT, okay, and then TTH, and then it says GT. Okay, what was our question? Okay, what does it say? Hanif wins if he has the same result. All three tosses should give same. That means he is winning if he gets three heads or three tails. So what is the probability that Hanif will lose the game? He's not winning it. So it means he is not getting this or this. Okay. So what did he got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So your favorable outcome. So ultimately number of total outcomes कितने हैं आपके पास? Number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And favorable outcomes आपके कौन से हो गए? So these remaining ones, HHT, HTH, okay, HTT, THH, THT, and TTH. ये सारे हो गए. Okay. So number of favorable outcomes ultimately कितने हो रहे हैं आपके? 6 हो रहे हैं. So what is the probability that he loses? Will be, yani probability of losing the game will be 6 on 8. So that is 3 on 4. I hope this is clear to you. See, language could be different. The similar question can be asked many different ways. But the thing is, you need to pay attention to what is given and what is to be asked. You have to understand the language mainly here. I hope this is quite simple to understand, right? So be careful when you're reading the question. It's more on your reading skill, okay, and then math, because there is no method as such. You have to describe and you have to do it. 3-part answer. It says that I have written the first coin. First coin मैंने toss किया तो मुझे क्या मिलेगा? Head या तो tail. अच्छा. Suppose मुझे first coin पे head मिला और मैंने second coin toss किया तो क्या मिलेगा? तो फिर से head या तो tail. और यदि first coin में tail था और फिर से toss किया तो क्या मिलेगा? Head या तो tail. Okay. Similarly, ये मेरा first coin, ये मेरा second coin. तो first के coin की ये possibility है, second की ये है. फिर से third किया तो third में भी again head and the tail. It could be with any of this combo. ये combo है सारे combination पे कि आपको first head मिला, second भी head मिला, तो third में क्या मिलेगा? Head या तो tail, यानी कि आपके possibility क्या हो गए? HHH और HHT. चलिए, first में आपको head मिला, second में tail मिला तो third में क्या मिल सकता है? फिर से head and tail. So you have the possibility. So like that we draw it. Suppose 4 coins, then you move on, but you don't have 4 coin questions. Okay, it goes with the hard classes. You don't have that. And आपको एक ही चीज याद रखनी है that it is always power of 2. There are 2 possibilities, head and tail. Okay. तो 1 coin toss हुआ तो head and tail, that is 2 possibilities, यानी कि 2:1. Second, 2 coins हुए तो 2 के ऊपर 2 powers, like 2 times. And 2 possibility, I mean 2 possibility, that is head and tail, and 3 times, so 2:3. What is 2:3? And hence total outcomes are 8. So suppose somebody asks you that if 4 times the coin is tossed, how many outcomes you get it? So you could answer, though it won't be, but then also you can answer 2:4. So how many outcomes are there? 16 outcomes. So it is always power of 2. And why power of 2 I'm taking? Because I have only 2 possibilities here. Okay, same way with the same logic. You remember dice question? 6 outcomes, so 1 times 6:1. 2 times tossing, 6:2. So 36, and that's why we have 36 outcomes. So if somebody asks you with the same logic, that if there are 3 dice tossing, then how many total outcomes will be there? Can you imagine? Yes, 6 outcomes, 3 tossing, so 6 cubes, so it will be 260, right? So this is the logic it is followed. Let's move on to the next question. And the question number is 15.2. See, 15.2, you will find it optional, but the questions are coming in boards. Even 2017-18, such questions have come. Okay, regularly it comes, so it can be the important one here. So we will be dealing with the question, and here the first question, I'm just giving you the hint. It is similar to dice question. आपको याद रखना है, ठीक है? It is similar to dice question. So you are going to do it and let me know. I'll send you the solution, but let me know that you try this question your own. Okay? It is similar to 2 dice question. ये option आपको ध्यान रखना है. Okay? And then I move on to question number 3. I'll be dealing 3, 4, and 5 right now. So let's begin. You can go through the question if you have it. Okay, so here we are dealing with very simple ones, very simple questions are there. What does it say? बहुत simple सा question है ये. A bag contains 5 red balls and some blue balls. If there is a bag, there are a few balls in it, right? And we have to select something from that. So I'll read out and then we go part by part. There are 5 red balls and some blue balls. We don't know how many. So red balls are 5 and blue balls are, say, I don't know. I can see it as X also. Okay. Total, let's see, I don't know. It's given or not. If the probability of drawing blue ball, probability of blue ball, okay, मैं पहले statement बोल लेती हूँ. Probability of blue ball is double that of a red ball. मतलब blue ball की जो probability है, वो probability of red ball की double है. Do you understand this kind of, you remember this equation? Yes, kind of कोई relationship दी हुई है. ठीक है. If one determine the number of blue balls in the bag, तो हमारी प्रोबेबिलिटी की फॉर्मूला क्या कहते हैं? नंबर ऑफ फेवरेबल और नंबर ऑफ टोटल आउटकम. तो सपोज हमारे पास रेड बॉल कितने हैं? 5 है और ब्लू बॉल हमें नहीं पता, तो मैं ले लेती हूँ लेट. ओके, तो पहले लिख देती हूँ लेट द नंबर ऑफ रेड बॉल ब्लू बॉल्स बी एक्स. ठीक है, हमने एक्स ले लिया. तो आपके टोटल बॉल्स कितने हो गए? यस, हमें नहीं दी है तो हमें ऐड करने पड़ेंगे. इट इज 5 प्लस एक्स या एक्स प्लस 5, जो भी आपका है. इतना समझ में आया? जो आपको दिया हुआ है तो 5 रेड बॉल्स दिए, 2 ब्लू बॉल, सम एक्स बॉल्स आते हैं. ओके, वी डोंट नो हाउ मेनी. सो टोटल सपोज मैंने इसको एक्स लिया है तो मेरे पास टोटल बॉल्स आ गए 5 प्लस एक्स. और दूसरी हमें चीज दी है दैट नंबर ऑफ ब्लू बॉल्स का प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ब्लू बॉल्स इज डबल द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ रेड बॉल्स. ठीक है, बस इतना हमारे पास है. So, how many blue balls are there? We have to find it out. Very simple. Look at this. We are going to use maximum of this. What is the probability of blue ball? तो आप कहोगे favorable upon total. तो कितने blue balls हैं? X upon total. X plus 5 या आप जैसे 5 with X. It's all in the same, you know that. Okay, which is equal to 2 times red ball 5 upon X. बहुत सिंपल है, बहुत ज्यादा सिंपल है, बस यही स्ट्राइक होना चाहिए. Can I cancel the denominators? And therefore, what are you getting? X is equal to 2, 5, 10. So therefore, how many balls are? So therefore, blue balls are 10. I hope you got this. Simple है. बस ये स्ट्राइक यहाँ पे होना जरूरी है. If you go on searching, अरे total balls तो नहीं दिए हैं, कैसे होगा? Don't have to worry because it gets cancelled, so it's not really. Right? Simple. I hope this is clear to everyone. थोड़ा सा क्वेश्चन देके फिर से वीडियो रिपीट करना. आई विल आल्सो ट्राई टू एडिट दिस वीडियो एंड पुट द क्वेश्चन, और आई रिक्वेस्ट दैट इफ आई कांट डू दैट, आप क्वेश्चन पहले पढ़ लीजिए अच्छे से एंड देन यू ट्राई टू कनेक्ट इट, बट डू वॉच इट अगेन फॉर दैट, यू नीड टू. ओके, ठीक है. अब देखते हैं फोर्थ वाला क्वेश्चन क्या कहता है. इट सेज इट इज सिमिलर ऑन दिस ग्राउंड ओनली. ओके, शैल आई राइट दिस? Okay, what does it say? A box contains 12 balls, out of which X are black. X. Total कितने balls है हमारे पास? 12 balls है. हमें पता नहीं कौन से कितने. उसमें से जो black वाले हैं, अब थोड़ा सा अलग तरीके से लिख रही हूँ मैं, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कैसे भी हम लिखें. It is just for our understanding. Black balls are X. Okay. 12 balls black. If one ball is drawn, हमें पता नहीं है क्या नहीं है उसके अंदर. तो क्या कह रहे हैं? There are 12 balls, out of which black balls कितने हैं? X है. If one is drawn at the random, what is the probability that it is a black ball? So what is the black ball का probability? तो आपकी total outcome कितने हैं यहाँ पे? 12 हो गए. Okay, just for your understanding, favorable outcome कौन से हैं? तो favorable outcome, अब देखिए यहाँ पे listing method नहीं होगी, right? Because ball 1, ball 2, ball 3 इसकी कोई मतलब नहीं. So here you can directly go with total outcomes and favorable outcomes in the form of number of and number of here. And favorable outcomes हमारे क्या हो रहे हैं? X, क्योंकि we are talking about black balls. So probability of black ball will be X upon 12. क्योंकि हमें X में पूछा तो हम X में ही आंसर देंगे. We don't have any way to find it out what would be this X. So it's simply X on 12. Got it? Now there is a second, मतलब उसी में क्वेश्चन है. If 6 more black balls are put, अब ये क्या कह रहे हैं? 6 balls are added. कौन से वाले? दिया हुआ है 6 more black balls, इसलिए मैंने नहीं बताया पहले. 6 black balls are added. तो अब आपका ये जो नंबर है ये क्या चेंज हो गया? 12 plus 6 यानी कि बन गया 18. और यहाँ पे आपके ब्लैक बॉल्स कितने हो गए? अब कितने हो गए? तो x plus 6, जो भी था उसमें 6 ज्यादा, मतलब पहले x थे तो x में 6 ज्यादा, यानी कितने हो गए आपके? x plus 6. ओके, तो अब क्या कह रहे हैं? प्लीज थोड़ा सा ध्यान से सुनिएगा, ये स्टेटमेंट ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ड्रॉइंग अ ब्लैक बॉल इज नाउ डबल ऑफ व्हाट वाज इट बिफोर. वैसे बता रही हूँ कि जब 6 बॉल हम ऐड कर रहे हैं ब्लैक वाले ही, तो मेरे टोटल बॉल्स बन गए 18 और ये बन गया x plus 6. ये तो हमें पता चल गया. अब लेकिन क्या रहे हैं कि when 6 balls are added, so the probability of black ball now, मतलब अब जो है, तो अब क्या है? probability of black balls न्यू कंडीशन है, ठीक है. तो मैं इसको probability of black balls न्यू में लिख देती हूँ. will be x plus 6 upon 18. इतना समझ में आ गया आपको? फिर हम रिलेशनशिप पे जाते हैं. पहला अब ये था, ठीक है. अब लेकिन इसके लिए क्या कह रहे हैं? Probability of drawing a black ball now is double of what was it before. ये जो probability है वो इसकी डबल है. Okay, so we have the relationship and that means ये जो है अभी की probability वो पहले वाले का डबल है. Understood? So you got a kind of equation here. isn't it? I hope this is clear to all of you. मैंने कहा ना इसमें language is more important. इसको confuse हो ना करेंगे तो it's not so difficult. Fine. So now you know what to do. 6. So you can multiply, cross multiplying 6 times x plus 6. और या तो simple तरीका है. If you are now class 10, so I don't want to like the babies you go on Monday. Therefore, x plus 6 is equal to 18. इस 18 को मैंने यहाँ पे ला दिया 6. And now do 3. And therefore, x plus 6 is equal to 3x. क्या मिला? x यहाँ पे जाएगा. So what do you get? Therefore, c is equal to 2x. It means x is equal to 3. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? पहले आपका x का वैल्यू क्या है? 3. That's 4. Okay. They have asked you what was the value of x. You got it? स्टार्ट किया, उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी x में फाइंड की, फिर उन्होंने 6 बॉल्स हमसे ऐड करवाए ब्लैक बॉल्स, तो हमारे नंबर्स चेंज हो गए. फिर जो नए नंबर के ब्लैक बॉल्स की जो प्रोबेबिलिटी आई वो पहले वाली प्रोबेबिलिटी की डबल थी. सो वी गॉट अ काइंड ऑफ इक्वेशन हियर. यू सिंप्लीफाई, यू गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ x. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू यू. ओके, एंड द लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ योर चैप्टर. ओके, कुछ डाउट हो तो प्लीज फिर व्हाट्सएप पे डिस्कस कर लेना. अभी समझ में नहीं है, मतलब अभी ऐसे लगेगा अभी आसान है. एंड देन इफ यू फील कंफ्यूज्ड डेफिनेटली यू डिस्कस. ओके, कोई भी डाउट हो तो वी कैन यू कैन क्लैरिफाई द डाउट फॉर मी. फाइन. ओके, नाउ लेट्स गो फॉर द नेक्स्ट. व्हाट इज से? पहले क्वेश्चन रीड कर लेती हूँ, फिर आप सुनिए पहले और फिर हम एनालाइज करेंगे. से अ जार कंटेन्स 24 मार्बल्स, सम आर ग्रीन एंड अदर्स आर ब्लू. मतलब आपके पास दो टाइप के मार्बल्स हैं, ग्रीन है और ब्लू है. Number specification of the meaning. If a marble is drawn at random from the jar, एक marble हमने निकाला, then the probability that the probability it is green is 2/3. मतलब probability of green हमें दी हुई है 2/3. Find the number of blue balls in the jar. और हमें find क्या करनी है? Number of blue balls. ठीक है? तो देखते हैं कैसे है. So let's see the question again. How many balls in all? Marbles in all? 24. सपोज जो ग्रीन वाले हैं उसको मैं मान लेती हूँ x, क्योंकि हमें दिया नहीं है. कैन यू टेल मी व्हाट इज द हाउ मेनी ब्लू मार्बल्स आर हियर? ये x है, तो बाकी के जो बच्चे वो ब्लू हो गए, इजंट इट? या तो आप इसे x ले लो, इसे 24 माइनस x ले लो. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू इट. ठीक है. ओके, अब ये क्वेश्चन आप बहुत सारे तरीकों से कर सकते हो. It's you, up to you how you take it. Okay, again, find the number of blue balls. हमें blue ball find करने दो. Let's take this is x. Just for your easier, बाकी आप कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कौन सा assume करेंगे. ये आपका थोड़ा सा टाइम सेव करेगा इसलिए. Okay. अच्छा, दो पॉसिबिलिटी है. या तो आप जब मार्बल निकालोगे तो क्या होगा? या तो निकलेगा ग्रीन या तो निकलेगा ब्लू. इसके अलावा कुछ और तो व्हाइट तो आने वाला नहीं है, रेड तो आने वाला नहीं है, क्योंकि उसके अंदर है ही. ठीक है, तो एक तो आप कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री इवेंट्स कर सकते हो. ठीक है, आप कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री इवेंट कॉन्सेप्ट यूज कर सकते हो, या तो इसी से आप कर सकते हो. इट्स अप टू यू. आई जस्ट टीच यू द कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री कॉन्सेप्ट. व्हाट डज इट से? प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ग्रीन बॉल, आई मीन ग्रीन मार्बल इज एज हाउ मच? जो मैंने पढ़ा उस हिसाब से 2/3 हमें दिया हुआ है. सो कुड यू टेल मी व्हाट इज द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ ब्लू मार्बल? Do you get this? How I wrote 1/3 directly? स्ट्राइक हो रहा है कि 1/3 क्यों लिख रही हूँ? यदि ग्रीन नहीं है तो ब्लू ही है. सो इट इज 1 minus 2/3. 1 minus 2/3. और what is 1 minus 2/3? 1/3. ओके, और यदि x वाली मेथड से लूं तो what is the probability? तो x upon 24. And therefore, अब यहाँ पे हमें पूछा नंबर ऑफ, हाँ, बिकॉज x हमारी तरफ से था, तो नंबर ऑफ, हमारा आंसर इस तरीके से होगा. नंबर ऑफ ब्लू बॉल्स आर, आई होप यू गॉट दिस. थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है बट क्वाइट इजी. आप इसको 2/3 लेके भी कर सकते हो, तो उसमें भी आपका x आ जाएगा. ग्रीन बॉल्स से शुरू करके भी आप कर सकते हो. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन. यस, ये पार्ट आपको समझ में आया. I hope this is very clear to all of you. So this is all about probability from my side. Okay, I have discussed all the important questions. Okay, in a week I'll try that you get some assignment on this. Okay, we will be having 10 to 15 questions which has appeared in board exams especially. Okay, so that would be there, and that you have to give it to me in Google Class. The submission will be in Google Class. I hope that you have made your email IDs with Google, and you must be changing it. Okay, your email ID. So do it earliest. Okay, I hope this chapter is clear to you. So any doubt for this chapter, you could be sending the doubts to me. Fine? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, it is marbles, blue marbles. I hope it is understood, isn't it? Okay, fine. So we wind up the session here and put your attendance. I'm sending you in WhatsApp, so you can put your attendance in that. Thank you, children. Good day.